After failing in their initial attempts, the men from Beach Jumper Unit 1 prepared for a second try on July 11, 1943, as the night waves crashed against the Italian shore and with an enemy-occupied lighthouse nearby. Several U.S. Navy customized 63-foot air-sea rescue boats made their way into the ocean. The men had one mission: create as much noise as possible and draw the attention of enemy troops stationed nearby. Using jamming transmitters, alarms, special reflective equipment, spotlights, and speakers that produced loud sounds, mimicking a Adidas-style beach invasion, this small Navy unit managed to fool the enemy into believing a full-scale amphibious landing was taking place right before their eyes. Navy officer Douglas Fairbanks Jr. had long been a fan of ships and wanted a nautical career. But with little experience and no university degree, the established Hollywood actor relied on his high society contacts. After writing to his longtime family friend, British Chief of Combined Operations, Lord Louis Mountbatten, the royal family member welcomed Fairbanks and his staff as liaison officers so they could learn about commando operations. Once in Great Britain, Fairbanks took part in observing, planning, and executing commando raiding parties, diversions, and deception operations. After learning about explosives, camouflage, and the operation of specialty landing craft, he participated in pajama raids, dangerous, nighttime cross-channel hit-and-run assaults on German outposts, and became enamored with the military art of deception. When he returned to the U.S., he presented Admiral Ernest J. King, Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Fleet and Chief of Naval Operations, with an idea for a unit specifically trained for tactical cover, diversionary, and deception missions. On March 5, 1943, King formally authorized recruiting 180 men for the program. As a lieutenant, Fairbanks did not have sufficient rank to command the unit. So, Admiral H. Kent Hewitt, then commander of amphibious forces and all U.S. naval forces in Northwest African waters and the Western Mediterranean, was selected to lead the new endeavor. On March 16, 1943, the first volunteers arrived at the amphibious training base in Virginia. According to the Navy announcement, the men were signing up for prolonged, hazardous, distant duty in an ultra-secret project. To qualify, volunteers had to be resistant to seasickness, experienced with small boat handling and operations, possess basic electrical knowledge, and be proficient in celestial navigation. The Special Warfare Unit's primary mission, according to the Navy, was to assist and support operating forces in the conduct of tactical cover and deception in naval warfare. Volunteers received deception equipment kits for psychological warfare missions, including a multi-component heater consisting of a wire recorder, amplifier, and speaker, jamming transmitters, and naval balloons with strips of radar reflective window attached. With this technology, a few dozen men could simulate large amphibious landings, making the enemy believe a massive 70,000-man force was about to land, while the real attack troops began operations elsewhere. Over 2 months, the first volunteers learned boat handling, seamanship, ordnance, gunnery, demolition, pyrotechnics, and meteorology. And on May 25, 1943, Beach Jumper Unit 1 was officially commissioned as the first of 9 organized units during World War II. The official story says the Beach Jumpers got their name from from their ability to quickly hit the beach and cause confusion with harassment and deception operations. Though others say the nickname came from a scientist's remark to scare the bejesus out of the enemy, a phrase shortened to the BJ factor and used in planning, inspiring the unit's cover name. Less than 2 months after finishing training, the men of BJU-1 were called to help the Allied invasion of Sicily, codenamed Operation Husky. The assault on Sicily was a major campaign in the European theater intended to seize the Italian island. On the night of July 10, 1943, Beach Jumper Unit 1 was ordered to conduct a diversion off Cape San Marco to keep the Germans away from Husky's southern landing beaches, where the actual invasion would begin. The unit was assigned 10 63-foot customized air-sea rescue boats manned by an officer and a crew of 6, and equipped with the unit's deception gear plus twin .50 caliber machine guns, window rockets, explosive packs, and smoke pots. Navy officials still predicted significant losses for the unit, given the hazards their small vessels would face. So each beach jumper was ordered to pack personal items in a crate for collection by next of kin. The men's families were kept in the dark because any leak could ruin a deception. After sorting from Pantelleria, a newly captured island about 150 miles from Sicily's western coast, the unit's first attempt was recalled due to hazardous seas. But the next day they achieved the unimaginable, a clever deception. The operation launched on July 11, 1943, at 10 p.m. 3 of the air-sea rescue boats prepared their heaters 3,000 yards off the shore, while another sailed 1,000 yards ahead to lay smoke. An enemy-occupied searchlight illuminated the area and was followed by arms and artillery fire. At 2:30 a.m., the ASR crews secured their heaters and gear, sped toward the beach, fired their guns and rockets, then pivoted and retreated, leaving the Axis forces in total confusion. All the boats triumphantly returned to their home port at Pantelleria. But the beach jumpers' participation in Operation Husky was not over. When Fairbanks, stationed aboard Commander Hewitt's flagship, learned that a British aerial bombing diversion had been postponed, he convinced superiors to substitute it with a nighttime beach jumper operation to keep German attention diverted. The unit was ordered to conduct another operation the following night using all available craft. This time, the shore batteries were fully alerted beforehand. As the next evening approached, 11 air-sea rescue boats and 8 patrol torpedo boats split into 2 groups and staged sequential coastal diversions between Mazzara and Devolo. Farther up Sicily's western coast, saw Group A struck just as the moon went down, with one boat dashing ahead of the others to fire guns, launch rockets, and lay smoke. The other group's subsequent sounds, balloons, pyrotechnics, fake radio chatter, and radar jamming soon sparked a counterattack from enemy searchlights, artillery, and machine gun fire. While Group A escaped the fire and overwhelming disorder, Group B almost didn't. Before they could even begin their nighttime operations, shore batteries had targeted them with accurate, radar-controlled heavy fire. Ultimately, Operation Husky was significantly aided by the mental uncertainty generated by the diversions and deceptive operations. With the beach jumpers' participation, an entire German reserve division stationed in the west stayed in place, while the actual Husky invaders secured beachheads well into the south and east. Although 6-inch salvos were fired toward the vessels, there were no reported casualties, and the men from Beach Jumper Unit 1 were able to unpack their crates when they returned to base. Recognizing Fairbanks' imagination and critical thinking, Vice Admiral Hewitt promoted the lieutenant to Special Operations Officer and made him directly responsible for all beach jumper operations. Through the remainder of World War II, a total of 11 beach jumper units lived up to their name in several worldwide deployments. Across theaters, the beach jumpers assaulted and raided beaches, creating as much chaos and commotion as possible for Axis forces, deceiving and harassing them wherever they went. In 1944, 3 beach jumper units received the Presidential Unit Citation for their involvement in the Allied invasion of southern France during Operation Dragoon. Even after World War II ended and the Special Warfare units were deactivated, the U.S. Navy continued to value the beach jumpers' capabilities. As the United States entered a new form of conflict, Navy brass turned to Captain Phil Buckley to re-establish the units. Buckley had been a leading collaborator in the initial commission and earned 2 Navy Crosses during the D-Day landings and Operation Husky. Despite questions about the relevance of a deception unit in modern times, Beach Jumper Units 1 and 2 were officially reactivated in June 1952 to support the Navy's Pacific and Atlantic fleets. The units comprised 10 officers and 18 enlisted men, and the new beach jumpers were trained in amphibious reconnaissance, demolition, and hand-to-hand combat, intelligence gathering, physical training, swimming, and seamanship. As the Cold War progressed through the 1950s and early 1960s, the beach jumpers' niche expertise in manipulative and imitative deception and electronic warfare was used in new ways, including close collaboration with the CIA during the Vietnam War. Several beach jumper units were responsible for tactical deception operations, employing psychological operations, PSYOPs, and unclassified cover activities during the conflict. The beach jumper name was retired in 1972, and the missions were absorbed by other unit types. From the late 1980s to the present, the Fleet Tactical Deception Group Pacific and Fleet Tactical Deception Group Atlantic assist Navy commanders in planning and executing tactical military deception operations due to their classified status. Many of the original jumpers from the successful Operation Husky went to their graves without ever revealing to their loved ones what they had done in the Navy during World War II. Thank you for watching our Dark Ducks video. Before you go, please share your thoughts on the beach jumpers in the comments section below. **